Howdy again, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. And these are a few things that I found, so I wanted to make another tutorial right quick to go over it. First, when we play, if you notice, she's stuck running. We want to fix that. We want it to look better. So let me delete, go into blueprints, obstacles, jump boost 1, and jump boost. I'm sorry, go into jump boost and drag off of here and set care animations, to jump, and we also want to do that as the 2D side-scroller character. That's our target. Compile and save. And I've already done it in this one, but just in case you need to see it again, drag off, type in care animations, set it to jump, and your target is going to be 2D side-scroller character. And make sure everything is plugged in accordingly. Double check mine. We are good. Compile and save. Next, you want your character. Edit 2D side-scroller character. And this inherently uses event tick. It's a 2D side-scroller. It's not going to hurt anything. And type in is falling. And that's going to go to character movement. And you'll see that it's a yes or no. As a boolean, red is always a bool. As a boolean, is falling, yes or no. Hold down B on your keyboard for a branch, left click, and plug that in. So out of the event tick, we want a sequence. And we're going to use the top one, plug it in. And how are we going to do this? Well, again, scroll slightly up, get your character animations, Control D, Control D. So if your character is falling, if that's true, then we set to jump. If your character is not falling, then we set to idle, and that's going to push us back into run and idle and everything. Compile and save, and we're almost there. After this, you'll notice that it works. However, she's moving kind of weird. So to remedy this, go into your content folder, sprites, and main character. Go to main jump, and we're going to take this 9th sprite and we're gonna spread it way over there so it's huge. So you should have like 34 frames. And then she gets stuck doing that. Save it. And that's much better. So I'm not going to fix the pink one. A really cheap fix would be to move it up to... I wonder if 15 would work. 1500. Compile, save, play. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm done with that. And now let's move into the dialogue just a little bit. I am going to highlight this, Alt, left Alt, move it over so there's a duplicate, and on the right side of your screen on location, you can move it with your mouse. Good enough. So now we need to go into Content, Tiles and Props, Graveyard Props, Objects, left click, arrow sign, and hold down Shift, and left click Tree, right click, Sprite Actions, Create Sprites. And what are we going to do here? We want to just drag it out. Get your sprite. Yeah, just get your sprite and drag it out to here. Move it over a bit. And then we will... No, don't do that. Because then when we do our dialogue, we won't have any way to indicate where it's at. So instead, let's go to Content, Widgets, and right click. Let's do scroll down, User Interface, Widget Blueprint, User Widgets, and this one will be called Chat Window underscore Widget Blueprint. Open it up. And how did I do this last time? Let's get a canvas panel. Drag it onto the screen, and then we'll need an image for that, and that image will go up top. What do we have that we can use? Let's use all the way down there. We're gonna have to go back through and clean this up because most of this we're not gonna use. But we want to make sure we have what we need. And we should have what we need. Closer. Window sprite 1. That's it. Great. Next we will need text. Let's see. Text block. And that's parented to the image canvas panel. Good enough. And anchor it to the top middle. The image, anchor it to the top middle. And next we need a text box, I believe. Text. Text block. Huh, I guess it's just text. Scale it to the size that you want. I'm actually gonna make this just a little bit bigger, because that's gonna be hard to see on a phone or whatever the player is on. Size everything to your liking. That text is gonna be name. And the text size is gonna be 32. 42, text block, let's even that up just a little bit, and instead of text block, let's make that black. Okay, and rename it to chat. And that is just a little bit small, so let's go to 32. Much better. Compile and save. And now, let's see. Let's go to graph. And I believe we need some variables. First variable is going to be name, and that will be a string. Second variable will be full text. That will also be a string. Open everything up. And one more variable. And that will be display text. So, full text. And on name, click expose on spawn. Full text, expose on spawn. Display text, expose on spawn. And Seems like I'm missing something. Instance editable, expose on spawn. Compile and save. And now we want event construct, and we'll put a delay of 0.1 here. And then we want a sequence, because we're going to be doing a couple different things. And let's get our display text and full text. Len, L-E-N. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm looking at my notes right now. Probably linear or something. This is a function I built a long time ago, so cope with me. We want add. We're going to add 1 to it. I'm assuming that's 1 character per text. And then we want to get substring length is 1, and then we want to set display text just like that. Pull that off of our first sequence. And next, let's get full text and display text, and we want to know if that's equal drag off of full text and hit equal. Why is that not working? Test if the input strings are equal. That's why it's not working, because I did it wrong. Hit equal, 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 equal exactly, string, top one goes in the top, bottom one goes into the bottom. Hold down B to get your branch, plug it in, and off of the second sequence we'll be going to the branch, and if it's false we will send it back to the delay, and if it's true we want a delay of 4. This is how long it's going to have to put the text onto the screen, I believe. Another sequence. Remove from parent. Cast to BP side 2D side scroller character. Get player character. And enable input. As the side-scroller character, that's our player target. And just because get player controller, just to make sure it's done right. That's a mistake I've made when I made this like 10 years ago. Compile and save. And compile, save. Designer. I think that's it, and this tutorial is getting kind of long. So in the next one, we're going to make a blueprint that we set in the level, and inside of that blueprint, we can display the name and the text and everything, and it will print it out on screen on that window that we just made, on that widget that we just made. And we can add names and all kinds of stuff. So I will see you in the next one, and hopefully we will have some dialogue going. I'll see you then. Bye.